Hello and welcome to our tutorial on slide framing, an innovative approach for enhancing online teaching. Today, we'll embark on an exciting journey to understand how slide framing can transform your teaching experience. In this session, we will explore the concept of active learning, discussing its importance and impact, identify the reasons behind adopting the slide framing method, highlighting its benefits and advantages for both faculty and students, demonstrate how to seamlessly integrate slide framing into your existing PowerPoint presentations, emphasizing its significance in online education, break down the slide framing process, outlining its key components and how they contribute to more effective teaching. Conclude with guidance on further developing your skills and expanding beyond the basics of this method. Let's get started on this enlightening journey to enrich your teaching toolkit with slide framing. Let's delve into the reasoning behind the slide framing technique. Slide framing begins with the crucial idea of planning ahead. In academia, while spontaneous teaching is common in face-to-face classes, online classes demand more structured planning to enhance the reusability of the content. We previously discussed active learning, and slide framing integrates this by planning interactive elements within your lectures. These planned interactions are made visible, serving dual purposes, reminding you to engage students during the lecture and signaling students to prepare to take different actions. A significant advantage of slide framing is its aid in the editing process. Our technique uses visual indicators on slides to communicate their purpose. For editors, this means they can easily identify and edit specific segments, like Q&A sessions, without needing to review the entire video. These indicators are designed for different activities, such as problem solving, discussion questions, demonstrations or self-paced tutorials, or check for understanding questions, enhancing the video's interactivity and replicating an in-class learning experience. Our aim is to balance content delivery with interactivity, making learning more engaging and effective for students. Slide framing achieves this through specially designed slides. We provide a template on our website, complete with pre-designed elements for your convenience. You can download this template and refer to our tutorial for guidance on using it effectively. Next, we'll explore why your existing PowerPoint presentations are a vital component of this approach. Having explored the concept of slide framing, let's focus on its application in your PowerPoint presentations, a crucial element in this strategy. Slide framing isn't just about creating new content. It's about enhancing and repurposing your existing materials for both online and face-to-face students, maximizing their reusability and engagement. PowerPoint slides are the foundation of your lecture. They guide the topics and structure of your presentation. Our goal with slide framing is to integrate active learning elements into these slides seamlessly. The first step is a thorough analysis of your current slides. Evaluate the sequence of materials, visual design, text readability, and overall content organization. Are the slides visually appealing? Is the text concise and clear? This review will identify areas for improvement and opportunities to embed active learning elements. The second step is to reflect on past lectures and student queries. Which slides prompted the most questions? Use these insights to create targeted exercises and discussions. These will be incorporated into your redesigned slides, marked with our framed design for easy identification and interaction. In the next part of our session, we'll showcase an example of how slide framing transforms a typical PowerPoint slide into an interactive learning experience. Let's see slide framing in action. In this example, we see a slide that is quite text-heavy. This is a perfect opportunity to apply our slide framing technique. Let's consider breaking down the information. Start by defining solute and solvent on one slide, then progress to forming solutions on the next, perhaps with some vivid examples to illustrate each step. Separating the steps in forming solutions onto their own slide reduces cognitive load and makes the information more digestible for students. It is important to keep in mind that in an online environment, the slide isn't just a backdrop to your lecture, it's the main focus. We want the content to be dynamic to maintain student engagement. This approach doesn't just aid understanding, it also keeps the presentation from becoming monotonous. The goal is to create slides that are clear, concise, and keep the students' attention as you guide them through the material. Now, let's explore in detail how the framing process can help us achieve this. Let's move on to structuring your PowerPoint presentations effectively. Often, instructors compile their entire lecture series into one large file. Our slide framing method recommends a different approach. Divide your PowerPoint into individual sessions corresponding to each class. For instance, if you teach 3 times a week, create 3 separate PowerPoint files, each tailored for a single session of approximately 50 minutes. Within each session, identify the main topics. A topic represents a significant segment of information that's crucial for that particular class. Then, segment these sessions further into 3 to 5 subtopics. Look for natural breakpoints where you can pause and transition to a different aspect of the subject. If a topic is extensive, consider splitting it into several parts, Part 1, Part 2, and so on. This helps create bite-sized sections that are easier for students to absorb, ideally lasting between 8 to 15 minutes. This not only helps in maintaining student engagement, but also makes your content more adaptable for different teaching scenarios. Moving forward, let's talk about framing your slides for introductions and conclusions. These are pivotal in guiding your students through the learning journey. At the beginning of each topic, right after your title slide, it's effective to set the stage with an objective slide. Explain the purpose of the lesson and its relevance. This is the moment to captivate your students' interest. Share real-world examples or intriguing cases that relate to the subject at hand, sparking their curiosity for what's to come. Conversely, at the conclusion of each topic, integrate a slide that encapsulates the key points, prompts for reflection, and any questions that arose. This strategy serves a dual purpose. In classes, it signals a natural pause for questions, reducing interruptions. Online, it creates a clear breakpoint for students and aids our editors in segmenting the video content into focused topical segments, each ranging from 8 to 15 minutes. Remember, while we aim for each segment to be around 10 minutes, the exact timing is flexible. The goal is to provide a general time frame for content delivery, ensuring your lectures are concise and retain their educational value for future use. Let's address a key organizational element: housekeeping items. To streamline the editing process and preserve the longevity of your course material, it's vital to segregate logistical details from educational content. Here's our recommendation. Position a housekeeping items slide at the very start before diving into the topic. Use this slide to communicate important announcements, key dates, and logistical details. Anything that's specific to the running of your course. Discuss course-related issues, logistical queries, and upcoming video content. This is also the perfect time to tackle any questions previously raised via email or other channels. By doing this, you create a clear distinction between transient course management details and the evergreen academic content. When you begin your topical lecture, remember to avoid mentioning transient dates or times like tomorrow, Wednesday, or next week. Keeping such specifics out of the main content ensures that your course remains relevant and valuable for the long term. Please make sure to include this housekeeping agenda up front, so once the topic begins, the focus remains solely on the subject matter at hand. In addition to the topic, intro, and closing slides, our slide framing approach incorporates a variety of active learning activities. These slides are strategically inserted to foster student interaction and engagement. For instance, step-by-step demonstration slides guide students through processes they can replicate, while problem-solving slides present challenges that students can resolve and then submit for automated feedback via Canvas. This setup not only engages students, but also facilitates immediate understanding through automated solution reveals after submission. Moreover, we can integrate discussion slides that segue into LMS forums for broader interaction. Quiz slides or checks for understanding with immediate feedback are also essential components of this active learning approach. Imagine you're demonstrating software use. A demo slide will prep our team to insert the relevant video. Similarly, with a problem solution slide, our team understands to conclude the video after the problem description, prompting students to attempt the problem before moving on to the solution video. This framework informs our team about the expected student actions and the structure of the learning experience. It's a powerful way to communicate the dynamics of your session, ensuring students are actively participating in their learning journey. Let's take a look at a hypothetical example where we use a simplified version of slide framing. This is how our team could use slide framing to interpret your efforts when using slide framing. First, they would know to take out the housekeeping agenda and remove it from the video, as this will help with evergreening the content. Next, they would begin with Topic 1, clearly denoted by the corresponding color stripe. They would know that all the slides would continue to flow until the quiz is reached. They would explore the quiz and remove any interactions the students had with you if you recorded this session live. If needed, they would insert a warning for the online students to pause the video to reflect on any questions.
Okay.
You can make this even better by inserting the answers on the next slide for easier editing. Then, they would continue the video until the conclusion is reached, where they would look to remove any student interaction, as it is expected that at this time you would motivate students to ask questions after the conclusion to make sure it is safe to move on to the next topic. Our team would know that you will go a detailed explanation for a problem students have to solve, and they would know to end the video as soon as you finish describing the task. Then they will expect to see a solution to that problem, but they will save this as a different video that students will only be able to see after submitting their solution attempt online. This mechanism works great as it is equivalent to receiving prompt feedback. As we close this session, let's reflect on the journey we've embarked upon together. Slide framing is more than just a methodology. It's a gateway to transforming your educational content into dynamic, interactive learning experiences. By adopting slide framing, you open up a world where lectures become more than monologues. They evolve into dialogues with inquisitive minds, eager for knowledge. With each slide meticulously crafted to engage and inspire, slide framing ensures that your students are not just passive listeners, but active participants in the learning process. It's time to leave behind the static slides of yesterday and step into the vibrant future of education.
Take a sample here. So these things are now fixed actually. So now
Start using slide framing today, and let's grow together in this exciting new era of teaching and learning.